I have to admit the first couple of videos in this Holiday Humbug series have probably been of the slightly more controversial nature, knowing that it was going to get a rise in reaction out of a lot of you, both positive and negative, in terms of your viewpoints, of my viewpoints. I do have a feeling that this one is going to have much more of a consensus in terms of most of you agreeing with me to some degree or totally. I mean, I don't even really know how this particular topic, I know sometimes I might say, how can you see it this way or how can you see it that way? No, on this particular topic, I don't see how you can see it any way other than this way. And if you do, well, humbug on your ass. I don't know what the hell's going on in your thought process. But the bottom line is we clearly know and understand now that storytelling does matter in professional wrestling. And it has forever and ever. That's ultimately what professional wrestling is. It's about telling a story. It's a morality play of good versus evil, weaving these components together, having plot devices to further along stories, and having storyline arcs and all of this. But we also realize now fully, truly, that it doesn't matter to the WWE. And it's a tragedy because I've been somebody who's watched the WWF/WWE since 1985. That's 28 years of being a professional wrestling fan, a sports entertainment fan, a WWF/WWE fan, whatever you want to call it. I've seen a lot of bad out of that company over the past 28 years, but I've also seen a tremendous amount of good. And that's what always sticks in my craw and what really frustrates me. I've seen a company in the WWF and later on the WWE do some remarkable, tremendous things as a professional wrestling company, as an entertainment brand, as a mainstream form of entertainment, period. I'll put it to you this way. Anybody in the national sports media that was talking in the late 90s, early 2000s about the struggles of Monday Night Football in the ratings on free over-the-air TV on ABC and didn't see the direct effect that the Monday Night Wars was having on professional football and didn't give the Monday Night Wars, the WWFs, and the WCWs their due credit that they deserve for causing all types of havoc on the ratings of Monday Night Football, clearly was just somebody that was a narrow-minded professional wrestling hater. Because it was clear. You have 7 million people watching this show, 5 to 6 million people, but some weeks maybe 7 million people watching this show. And the ratings for Monday Night Football dropped dramatically during that time frame. It's no surprise. You could clearly see where it came from. It's because people stopped watching the boring-ass product presentation of Monday Night Football that was dramatically behind the times and decided to watch the Shock TV and the Crash TV and all the wonderful things they got out of the Monday Night Wars in WWF and WCW. And I've seen a lot of great storytelling out of the WWE over the years. I really have. Growing up as a kid during the Hogan era, I saw great stories like Hogan and Andre. Hell, Mr. T and Roddy Piper was a great story that played all over a long period of time. The fucking Mega Powers, that played out over a 2-year stretch. A phenomenal piece of wrestling storytelling. How the Mega Powers came together. How they joined to be this one super awesome fucking babyface tag team. Perhaps, from a sheer awesomeness standpoint, from my generation, the most purely awesome tag team of all time. And then the way you start teasing the tension. And then Elizabeth ultimately be the dividing force between the two. And they Splitsville and get to WrestleMania. I mean, my God. You had the feuds like Jake the Snake Roberts versus Ravishing Rick Rude. You got a man making a play at your wife. That's how you're going to lash out. People could get behind that shit. They could relate to that shit. Jake the Snake Roberts a couple years later doing it as a heel now to the Macho Man Randy Savage when Jake's clearly making a play at his wife, Miss Elizabeth. Phenomenal elements of storytelling. Even when you go into that new generation era after the Hogan era. Bret versus Owen. A Cain and Abel type of storyline that played out over a year. It was phenomenal. To me still, and I'm not a huge Bret Hart fan by any stretch of the imagination, but still, one of my favorite storylines in professional wrestling history was Bret Hart versus Owen Hart. You go to the Attitude Era. You've got freaking Austin versus Vince. You've got freaking DX versus Team Canada. You've got The Rock versus Mankind. You've got Triple H versus Vince or versus The Rock. You've got all these different wonderful storylines. Undertaker versus Mankind. Undertaker versus Kane. Look at how great the storytelling was during that time. Look at how great all those things were. If you really think about it. I mean, you sit there and you would have this interesting character be developed, then this interesting character be developed, then you did things with them here, and then you built up to the point where you got to this moment and you created a wonderful story. You just don't get that anymore in the WWE. You really don't. In the past few weeks of Raw really helped expose this once and for all. The true lack of attention to detail by the WWE and the arrogance of the Titan Tower machine to say, hey, we're the WWE. We put it on TV. The people don't care about these simple plot holes. They don't care about storyline consistency. They really don't care, even though I'm Vince McMahon and I'll get on Beyond the Mat and say we make movies, even though I'm clearly forgetting that one of the key components to most movies, not all, but most movies, is having consistency in the story, consistency in the plot, a plot and a story that people can relate to, get emotionally invested in, and are interested in. You don't get that out of the WWE anymore. More often than not, it almost seems like the WWE is determined to waste our fucking time, absolutely waste our fucking time, and or insult our intelligence. A perfect example of that is when Daniel Bryan is getting kidnapped by the freaking Wyatt family, they show his fiance getting a freaking autograph from Michael Strahan. Even though we all know by now, after watching for many years, that there are monitors all over the place, and furthermore, not even bothering to ask the question, if her future husband is wrestling these crazy fucks, why in the blue hell is she not paying attention? Why in the blue hell is she not wanting to know where he is 24/7? Any of you fellas out there that have a lady in your life, you know how our ladies can sit there and want to be in our business and in our grill all the fucking time, but you're expecting me to believe, not as a wrestling fan, but as a human being and as a man in particular, that this bitch isn't going to be paying attention to what the hell her guy is doing? And when he's kidnapped, she's sitting there and getting an autographed football from Michael Strahan. And then only later you choose to address it on top. And she's sitting there even acknowledging the fact that she wasn't paying attention. She wasn't watching the product, even though anybody that would be in that position you would normally think would be watching to see what their boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever the fuck was doing. You look at the whole Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, Triple H storyline. Just pure laziness and stupidity at its finest. You do all of this to try to establish Triple H and Stephanie as the monster authority figure. You align them with Triple H and da-da-da. You come up with all these odds for Daniel Bryan to overcome. And then you never really finish the storyline, just so that way you could immediately move Daniel Bryan out of there, so that way you could ram Randy Orton and Big Show down their damn throats. After all this time of going with Big Show and having him be broke and having him be this and having him be that, now you get the horrible main event at Survivor Series, and what seemed like they were maybe building to Big Show and Triple H, they've completely gone away from that. All that time talking about how Big Show was broke and that he needed the money and he was at their service. And now what the fuck? What the hell is Big Show doing? It's this type of shit that pisses me the fuck off because it's a complete and utter lack of respect for the professional wrestling business and for us as professional wrestling fans and for them damn selves as a sports entertainment professional wrestling company. If nothing else, you would think you would have enough professionalism if you're the WWE and Vince McMahon and Stephanie and Triple H and all those fucks up there in Stamford, Connecticut, to take professional pride in what the fuck you were doing, to make sure that you produced and wrote the most entertaining, captivating television that you possibly could, that didn't have these gaping logic holes, didn't have these gaping storyline inconsistencies. It's like they don't fucking care because they think we're fucking stupid. And yet for some reason they can't understand why their ratings continue to dwindle, their merchandise sales are good even though they could be a lot better, or why their pay-per-view buy rates are sluggish to say the very least. It's shit like The Miz fucking turning heel on Kofi one week to the next week he's out there yuckity-yuckiting with Michael Strahan and Titus O'Neil even though he's supposed to be a heel. And then the next damn week he's sitting there taming up with fucking Kofi Kingston against Ryback and Curtis Axel. I got it right this time, damn it. I think I did anyways. And then he's with them and there's no fucking problem. What the hell is going on here? He's a face to a heel to a face again to we don't know. Maybe he's a heel again. Maybe he's a fucking face again. And the WWE wonders why people have tuned out their product in great droves over the past decade. People wonder in the WWE why they consistently fail to produce new, captivating babyface and heel legit top stars. It's because of bullshit like this. And then the worst thing of fucking all, you get these reports on the interwebs this week talking about the new standard for WWE when it comes to their baby faces. Hey, you might have just got the shit kicked out of you in the ring. You might have had 5 assholes beat you down, but as soon as that match is over and you're walking out of the ring and up the ramp, by God, you need to be smiling and greeting the fans because that's what we like to do. Totally taking away any consequence of any of the actions in the fucking ring. Totally taking any consequences away from anything whatsoever. And making the shit, which everybody already knows is scripted anyways, even though you're trying to get them to buy into it and at least suspend disbelief and make it feel like it's real enough to where they get emotionally invested in it. Now you're just totally making it seem like complete and utter phony baloney bullshit. Can you imagine that? How ridiculous is this? You're sitting there and telling your baby faces, hey, you just got squashed by this asshole in 3 minutes. Go out there and shake hands with the kids because that's good for business. No! You make your product look like a joke and you make your superstars look like jackasses. And speaking of jackasses, this company still can't even get it right. All the times you had John Cena and Randy Orton wrestle, now for some reason, inexplicably, all of a sudden, you're blowing your fucking wad at TLC, having John Cena versus Randy Orton, even though this really just came out of nowhere. The first time you really fucking teased this was at Survivor Series, a little backstage interaction, and then bam, at the main event of Survivor Series, after the horrible match between Big Show and Randy Orton, here they are face down, and then the next night they got a damn match at TLC. The fuck is going on with this company? When in the hell did the same company that used to give me such incredible stories, like the Mega Powers and Hogan and Andre, Jake versus Rick Rude, freaking Warrior versus Hogan, Slaughter versus Hogan, Macho Man versus Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 7, and the story that led into that. The company that gave me Brett versus Owen, the classic biblical Cain versus Abel tale. The company that gave me fucking Austin versus Vince. Rock versus Mankind, Undertaker versus Kane, Undertaker versus Mankind. Gave me all these great, phenomenal, hell, I'll give you one from the PG era. One of my favorite stories of the past 10 to 15 years of professional wrestling. CM Punk versus fucking Jeff Hardy. The same company that used to give us all that great shit is now telling the babyfaces after they lose a match to totally no-sell the consequences of the actions in the ring and the match itself and have them go out there and smile and shake hands with the kids because that's good for business. They sit there and ramp up Daniel Bryan only to yank the rug out from under him, to continue to build up the Big Show only to yank the rug out from under him, so that way we can get Randy Orton versus John fucking Cena, and we can't even get it at damn WrestleMania 30. You gotta blow your wad at fucking TLC. What the hell happened to the lost art of storytelling in the WWE? You could literally, and I mean literally, do a video that was 5, 6, 7 hours, if not longer, just talking about the recklessness and stupidity of the WWE creative machine and their lack of intelligence when it comes to booking captivating, compelling sports entertainment, wrestling, television, and their complete arrogance and lack of attention to detail and their completely stupid ass fucking philosophy of, oh, we don't need to address that. The people don't care. They're too stupid. They don't know. No, they do know. And the one thing I can guarantee you is with every wrestling fan, everyone's got a breaking point. Everyone, and I emphasize again, everyone has a breaking point. And one of the quickest ways to help tip them over the top and to reach that breaking point with any wrestling fan is to continue to insult their intelligence. And when you continue to insult their intelligence, and you put out a crappy product through and through, which the WWE clearly is doing the best they can, once again, and we don't even have a CENA campaign this time to worry about. Oh, maybe there's a gubernatorial, mayoral, or house seat run in 2014 for Linda that we just don't know about yet. This is lazy. You have one job to fucking do, WWE, and you can't even do it right. Have some damn pride in what you do as professionals, and stop prostituting this bullshit out there. This is horrible. Baby faces, no selling losses, taking away the whole consequence of building up to the fucking match to begin with. This is ridiculous. Humbug to the fucking WWE for their lack of emphasis on good storytelling over the past several years.